Welcome all to another RGN C64 Round Up, your concise guide to many of the latest news and releases for your Commodore 64. Let's start off this episode with some of the latest news that has occurred over the past month. Monty Boyd continues to work on his multi-level single-screen arcade platformer, Knights and Slimes. Monty has provided RGN with the latest work-in-progress build of the game, and we can confirm that it already plays very well. The aim of the game is to collect all of the stars and clear the screen of all enemies. Killing the enemies requires running into them with your weapon or jumping on top of them, whereby they will initially split into two smaller sizes, and you continue to hitting them and splitting them until they are eliminated. You need to watch out when splitting enemies to make sure they don't end up falling on top of your knight. There are a number of different pickups to collect that will grant your knight temporary powers. As you play the game, you will earn XP that will allow your knight to level up. One of the level up benefits includes an enchanted weapon that when powered up will allow for a one-hit kill. Knights and Slimes will be featuring multiple playable characters and 4 different game worlds for you to go through. Development of Knights and Slimes is progressing well, and fingers crossed we'll all have the opportunity to play it before the end of this year. And if you're wondering what has happened with Muddy Racers, Monty Boyd's other upcoming C64 title, then you'll be pleased to hear that the game is in the final phase of testing. Muddy Racer is a single-screen arcade-style racer with bumpy physics, featuring 18 different tracks across 3 different environments. Muddy Racers will allow you to take control of a miniature car as you race it against 3 other computer or human-controlled cars. There is a free play mode, or you can take part in the championship competition and you can upgrade your cars with the cash you earn from racing. Muddy Racers will be released through Protovision once it's ready. Hopefully this won't be too long from now. Haplo has released an enhanced version of Tenebra, a game he originally released late December last year. Tenebra is an atmospheric puzzle game with roguelike elements. Guide the hapless protagonist to the exit, but to do so he must always be within the field of light. Some torches are fixed, while others can be picked up or moved on rails. This extended version contains 6 new levels and tweaks to many of the existing levels, and is a nice little improvement to what is already quite a good game. Tenebra is available as a digital download from itch.io. Reese Clatworthy has released a playable demo of his upcoming title, Stoker. No doubt you'll be impressed with the quality of the graphic art on offer within the game. I quite like the way your dragon character waddles across the landscape. This demo gives you a taste of what the first level will be like, and is only available as part of the cover disc to the latest issue of Zap 64 Micro. Playing through the demo, we can see that we guide our little dragon character around collecting crystals, and when you come across this Evo character, shoot it until it's stunned, and then jump on top of it to reveal an artifact. Collect it and then locate the gateway with a corresponding shape in order to place the artifact on the gateway. Once all 3 artifacts have been placed, the gateway unlocks, allowing you to access other parts of the cavern. Reese has revealed to RGN that more elements will be added to this level to add further depth to the gameplay. Stoker has still quite a while to go to its completion, so we'll have to be patient for this one. The MEGA65 is a FPGA solution housed in a stylish replica Commodore 65 case and contains a fully functioning keyboard and 3.5-inch disk drive. The built-in core is an open source implementation of the original Commodore 65 with a number of enhancements included to bring the overall solution to suit 21st century sensibilities. As we look around the case, on the left side we can see a couple of DB9 type controller ports, a power switch and a reset switch. Around the back we have an expansion port, a serial port and the option to push a display out via VGA and HDMI, while sound can be pushed out separately via a dedicated audio port. The MEGA65 has two SD card slots, with the external microSD slot accessible from the back, while the internal card is accessible from underneath the case. While the MEGA65 is aesthetically pleasing, the star of the show for me has to be the mechanical keyboard. Not only does it contain the various PETSCII characters on the underside of the keys, and a couple of nice LED lights for the shift lock and caps lock keys, but the keyboard itself is just a pleasure to use. Now there are a couple of things that need to be emphasised. Firstly, the MEGA65 is a community project, not a commercial grade product. I would go so far to say that the MEGA65 is really more of a hobbyist product suitable for people who are happy to tinker with a piece of technology that is currently a little rough around the edges. There are some teething problems around HDMI output, the real-time clock and a few other issues around the operating system, so if you're looking for a sleek 100% commercial ready product, then the MEGA65 is not for you right now. Things are constantly improving with the MEGA65, but please don't expect a complete product despite its current price point. Secondly, the MEGA65 is not designed to be a modern day C64 replacement solution, even though it does have that capability. However, given that there currently aren't many quality games or applications that run on the native MEGA65 mode, then C64 compatibility is really the only thing that the machine really has going for it at a general user level for now, and some of you might be eyeing off the machine for this reason alone. So let's see how it fares in this respect. First, the good news is that the MEGA65 expansion port does accept C64 cartridges. Let us load some up and see how they fare. Sam's Journey looks to have some raster line issues on the title screen, but the actual gameplay section appears to play well for the most part. The bitmap soft cartridge version of Zeta Wing seems to play through without any issue. However, things take a turn for the worse when we try Aviator Arcade 2 cartridge. Its Magic 2 does load up, but the game is not playable due to the severe corruption of its graphics. And can you tell what game this is? Well, it's a cartridge version of the Shadow over Hawksmill. But things look up again when we try out the Rogue 64 cart, one of the best physical release titles for 2022. Also, it has been confirmed that the Kung Fu Flash cartridge also does not currently work with the MEGA65. Let's now look at the built-in C64 compatibility when it comes to loading games from the external microSD card. The Go64 mode can only read D81 images, so your expansive collection of D64, PRG or CRT images are not going to be of any use here. I've managed to source a number of games in the D81 format, so let's see how they load up. Upon seeing the glitch within the curtain effect on the title screen for Last Ninja 2, I feared for the worst, but the actual gameplay seems fine for the most part. This version of Armalite loads up the disk menu without a problem, but freezes afterwards. Fortunately, the Katakis image works without a problem. and I was surprised to see Outrun Europa work, albeit with a raster line glitch. Okay, so the built-in C64 compatibility is not all that great, but one of the neat features is the ability to instantly create and access save states. Fortunately, the C64 core for the Mr. FPGA device has been ported across to the MEGA65, and this core can be flashed into one of the available 7 empty slots. Release 1 of this core provides a highly compatible C64 experience, though it is somewhat restricted. First of all, it is PAL only for now. Also, only 1541 drive emulation is included in terms of loading devices. This means that only D64 images will work with the first release. No CRT images, no tape images, and neither the expansion port or the physical 3.5-inch drive can be utilised by the core in its first release state. But the good news is that your favourite C64 game controller will work with this core, and that the success rate of loading D64 images is indeed very good. Bringing up the menu options, we can see that the core gives us a choice of the type of SID to use, and a few other handy options, including CRT emulation. So for those viewers who have been asking me to use scan lines in my videos, here you go. Oh, before I forget, I confirmed that the 64 JPX adapter works with the MEGA65, should you want to use a console controller. The backbit gen assister also works, but only in C64 mode. And I tried out the Mouster adapter and confirmed that the MEGA65 does support 1351 mouse emulation. Here you can see it working with GeOS 65. So that is a quick run through of the C64 on the MEGA65. We will revisit the MEGA65 in a future episode to see how it's tracking. As you can see, there are a few things that need improving from a C64 compatibility perspective. And given the price point of the MEGA65, if you're looking for a modern day C64 replacement solution alone, then your money will be better spent on something like the C64, or even better, the Ultimate 64 solution. But if you're looking for something new to tinker with and grow into, and you have more money than sense, then the MEGA65 is well worth a consideration. Just make sure you know what you're buying into. Time to take a look at some new releases. Dan Avery has completed his tribute to Miner 2049er with the release of 2019er. Our friend Bounty Bob has been zapped back to the year 2019, but is desperate to get back to his own time dimension as soon as possible. Featuring 25 levels, you need to guide Bob around platforms until every section is filled with a solid colour. Collecting items will temporarily alter the enemy critters to a form that can be eliminated by having Bob run into them. In addition to filling up platform sections, Bob can collect uranium deposits that appear briefly for big bonus points. While from level 6 onwards, you can collect plutonium canisters that are initially hidden. Collecting all 20 canisters will result in bonus level being unlocked, which will give you the better ending should you complete it. Miner 2019er contains 2 different difficulty settings, Classic and Casual. The Classic difficulty is less forgiving when it comes to distances you can fall down safely, and the level resets when you lose a life. The Casual setting is more forgiving, with its safe jumping zones, and represents a modern day sensibility when it comes to jumping mechanics. This setting also retains any level progress made when losing a life. Miner 2019er is a well-designed platformer, and even though it is a little buggy, it does provide a very satisfying arcade-style gameplay. Don't get fooled by the outdated graphical style. Miner 2019er stands heads and shoulders above many other platform games you play today, thanks to the variability of how levels are completed. This is one highly addictive game. Miner 2019er is available through Cytronic Software. Brain Break is an absorbing puzzle game featuring 100 clever levels. The game was developed back in 1993, but never saw a commercial release. The game has been tidied up a little, and finally has been released 29 years later. Brain Break requires you to move gems around to form a specific pattern, and many of the levels will allow you to solve the puzzle in different ways. puzzle field will contain a number of items such as directional gates, glue blobs, death and teleporters, all designed to make solving a level a little more difficult, but ultimately far more engaging. There is no countdown timer, so you can take your time solving each level. I found playing Brain Break to be quite relaxing, and have enjoyed my time with the game so far. The game contains some very nice detailed high-res graphics that provides a bit of polish to the end production. If you don't like puzzle games, then Brain Break is not for you. But if you love to test your old grey matter at a casual pace, then Brain Break will keep you busy for many gaming sessions into the future. Brain Break is available from Psytronic Software. Donnie Russell II has ported across the arcade game Venture to the C64. Like the original, Venture 64 is nothing much to look at, but it does contain a bit of charm to it. You start off with an overhead map view of a dungeon where you need to guide your red dot into various rooms while avoiding hall monsters. Once inside, the view changes to a close-up overview of the inside of the room, and your aim is simple: grab the treasure item and get out safely. When you do kill enemy creatures, you need to take care not to touch them while they are disappearing, as this will result in a loss of life. At the same time, don't take too long inside each room. If you do, then a hall monster appears and will hone in straight for you. Rooms where you have successfully stolen a treasure item from within are represented with a solid shading. Once all rooms have been completed, then you go on to the next dungeon level. Venture is available as a free digital download. Ball and Chain by Dr. Mortal Wombat is an endless arcade score chaser where you take control of a helium-filled balloon chained to a heavy iron ball as you collect stars and coins for points. You can use the iron ball to destroy enemies as you move across. Destroyed enemies release power-up bubbles for you to collect. While the game looks nice and the SID soundtrack is quite good, there isn't really much of a game here, and it feels more like a technical demo more than anything else. Still, Ball and Chain is available as a digital download from itch.io on a name-your-own price basis, so you can try it out for yourself. Roman by Daro99 sees you take on the role of Rogelio, who enters into a labyrinth of caves looking to catch some tasty fish for his dinner. However, the cave system is unstable and rocks are constantly falling from its ceilings, so Roman needs to take great care while navigating through the caverns. Go around collecting coins and treasure as you use your ability to raise the water levels within the cave to push forward and find a way out to safety. But beware, the water is also pouring into the caves itself, so you won't have the leisure of staying in one spot for too long. Roman has an interesting game concept and provides a decent gaming experience that will have you playing it for more than just 5 minutes. Well worth checking out by downloading the digital image from itch.io. And that is a wrap on another C64 Round Up. Thank you for taking the time to watch through it, and I hope you found something of interest to you in this episode. As always, an extra special thanks to the viewers who show their appreciation with financial contribution to RGN via Ko-fi or Patreon. Until next time, bye for now.